junioruniversity.org for the Jungle Book, July 17th through August 1st. And be listening to Kcaa 1050 AM for your chance to win tickets to see this family-friendly musical. When you hear the jungle drums, be the fifth caller at 888-KCAA. It's time for the Kcaa Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Successful Brim. The Edward Dean Museum is happy to announce another new Sherlock Holmes-inspired mystery dinner theater performed by the Actors Forum. Sherlock Holmes and his recently empowered landlady, Mrs. Hudson, are called to a foreboding country estate to investigate a violent murder. The suspects include 2 women, a young boy, and a ghost. Tickets are $50 and includes appetizers, dinner, dessert, and of course the thrilling performance of the loosely based Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Reservations must be made as there is limited seating per performance. There will be 2 performances, Saturday, July 18th and Friday, July 24th. The time is 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Please contact the Edward Dean Museum to reserve your space today, 951-845-2626, or visit edwarddeanmuseum.org. Again, 951-845-2626, or visit edwarddeanmuseum.org. And that's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The Kcaa Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Yeah, here we go.
So, Bob, we got some real estate to talk about today. What do you think? It's hot out there. We can sell some real estate this weekend, huh?
Yeah, no
Show
kidding.
some properties. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, especially if you want to sell it at the beach.
Yeah, we should get a few more listings down that way and then get some of those beach goers to buy some vacation properties down there.
That'd be great.
We also could write that right into the contract, Bob, that we get usage of their vacation beach property 1 week a month.
Yeah, or a weekend a month, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Well, why are you cutting it down? I had it for a week, and now you got us only down to a weekend.
Well, I don't know. If they give it to us for a week.
We can do it, huh?
Yeah.
So, Bob, today
I found a piece of property at Dana Point, 1.2 acres for $49,000, right at the beach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's the matter with it?
Well, they getting it zoned for something you can use it for.
Play on the beach. It's my beach. Get off it. It's my beach. Get off it. Right?
I'll just go down there and set up a chair. It's mine.
Yeah,
now, it might be a hillside. I'm not sure. I'm going to go down and take a look at it. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. Just sooner or later, sometime in your lifetime, somebody would probably want it because of the proximity to the beach.
Right. Regardless of what they're going to do.
Exactly. And sooner, a developer or somebody come along. But if not, then you just go down there and have picnics on your own on the weekends. And
we're going to go down to my beachfront property here and hang out. What do you say, Dana Point?
Yeah.
Dana Point's beautiful. I have some friends who live down there. A little shout out to Stan and Cynthia Talley, high school friends of mine. They got married right out of high school. And Stan actually played for the Raiders for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool.
Well, I've been kind of surprised it's been on the market for 1,000 days.
Really?
Yeah, that's like 3 years.
It's got to be a cliffside something that they can't get zoned for.
I don't know. The aerial picture I saw, you can't really tell the terrain.
Can't tell the topography.
But still, nonetheless, I don't care. If I can go down there and it's at the beach.
Look, for $9,000 you could put 20% down, right? And you're in.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's look at it.
I'm game.
You got ears in yet, Bob? Can you hear what's going on out there in the
I don't need to hear
radio
what's going on. I can guess.
Well, you can guess. Hey, you know what's a really big guess? Little League All-Stars, the road to the World Series is going on right now.
Unless Di's yelling at me or something.
Well, Di,
I need my headphones
Di's
on.
like the mean woman in there. She told me I had to get on the air and be ready to go whether Bob was here or not, or she was going to tell my wife.
Oh, I see.
I'm telling on you or something, she said. I don't know. What'd you say to me, Di?
I think I said that I was in charge of you unless Tracy shows up, and then I'll step down.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, now I can hear something.
I can't hear a darn thing.
You just have to turn the volume up.
I don't know which one of these is my volume.
Are you even plugged in?
I have no idea.
Because there's a loose plug there.
Oh, well, where does it go?
I don't know.
Well, Di's the one that got me all hooked up here. Now I don't know what I'm doing.
Aha.
I need new headphones.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm on 4.
You're on 4?
Yeah, it's blasting me out. I sound good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Which one are you on? Do you know?
He's on 1, I think, but he's not sure. There's two loose plugs there. He could be either one. Who knows?
It's loud now.
Oh, okay. We're good.
So we don't know which one.
Our miraculous engineer here.
Well, let's turn it down. Oh, there I am. I think I'm number 2 now. So we have technical difficulties. You know, I had that yesterday at the All-Star tournament I was putting on, right? My sound system didn't work, and I had to call a 16-year-old kid, my son, to come down and fix it.
Aha.
He was right on it, man.
Well, that's the way it is with computers and electronic stuff. My mother, when I used to live in Pennsylvania, would call me from California and go, I'm trying to get my stereo hooked up. Can you help me?
Well, what was the first thing you told her? Try plugging it in? Because that's what my son said to me. Did you plug it in, Dad? I said, look, I plugged it in. I tried all the configurations that I could think of, and I still can't get it to work. And I don't have the time to mess with it because I'm trying to get this tournament going.
Right.
So he came down and plugged his phone into it and a couple of other wires, and he goes, well, yeah, it's your microphone. I said, cool. Now I don't have to announce a game.
Aha.
Because the microphone was broke.
Oh, I didn't know. Maybe it was one of those battery ones.
No, but you know what we did is he hooked his phone in, and he said, now just call me. And I could announce the game through his phone by calling him that way.
Uh-huh.
He's a pretty smart kid.
Yeah.
He got me hooked up there. So, and then in between the 2 games.
I mean, his phone broadcast that loud?
No, he hooked his phone into the system.
Oh, I see.
And I called him, and then it broadcast what I was saying over
Clever
the phone.
kid,
Yeah.
Well, he's an AV guy, though.
Yeah, he does that. He runs all the AV for the last 5 years, I guess, at his high school.
Well, that is great.
And not that he's taking 5 years to get through high school. His high school goes 7th through 12th. So don't think he's taking 5 years on a 4-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bob, let's see. A lot of activity seems like this week in the real estate world. I'm getting a lot of calls on stuff. It seems like a lot of stuff is closing and some activity. Getting some activity on a couple of your properties, too. I think I got some phone calls.
Well, it's kind of up and down. A couple of weeks ago, before the 4th, I was getting quite a bit of activity, but things have dropped off a lot since the 4th of July, which is common in the summertime because a lot of people have to take vacations in July and August, and you did that, yeah, you know, and so there are not as many people, unless they have to absolutely buy something right away, they're going to hold off on it until either it cools off or until they're forced into it again, maybe more closer to when their kids are going back to school.
Yeah, so we might be a little light this next 30 to 45 days on some.
Quite possible. Absolutely, yeah.
So,
but, like my commercial property over on Tyler, the former Tyler Lounge site.
Yeah, the lounge.
I've been getting quite a bit of activity on that since we put a sign up, and we finally got the property away from the previous owners who were claiming that they were still tenants after we foreclosed on them.
Well, there's some stuff right there, Bob, that maybe some of our people that listen to us on a regular basis. So, we have a new person there giving us signs. I thought I had to steal second base. She gave me a sign, and the next thing you know, I'll be going like this. So, Bob, if the property on Tyler and all the work that we've done, this has been a 3-year project, maybe 3.5 years now. How long are we into that project?
Yeah, about that amount of time.
So a lot of folks probably don't know all the things that we do or can get into to help folks with. We're not attorneys, and we don't claim to be. I play one on the radio once in a while, but you and Debbie mostly, but our office took this bull by the horns and helped a woman foreclose on a property that she had a private loan out on.
Right.
And foreclosed on it, and then had to evict the people that she foreclosed on because they wouldn't leave the property.
Yeah, they kept claiming they were tenants.
Yeah. So just so some of the people know.
But we finally beat them like we owned them.
Well, what's really kind of cool is that we just didn't beat them. We beat their attorneys, too, and we're not attorneys.
That's right.
That's kind of the part that I like about some of the stuff that we do.
Well, even one of our attorneys, the first one we had for the first eviction, said, "Oh, you guys will never get this property back."
Yeah,
we got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we dabble in some of that stuff, and we're not experts, but
we're not attorneys.
We will fight for our clients
absolutely
tooth and nail on just about any aspect of real estate that we can help you with, whether it's buying, selling. Maybe you need to get the property back. In this particular case, a woman's husband had passed, and she needed help and didn't have the funds to go hire an attorney.
Yep.
And so we handled that for her.
So, folks, we'll tell you a little bit more about this when we come back. This is Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
How hard can it be? You put up a sign, you just wait for the offers to roll in.
It becomes a second job.
Getting the house appraised and the comps.
The money that you think you're going to save, you end up losing.
I've bought and sold homes before, and now the first thing I do is call a realtor.
Realtors have the experience to price your home so it can sell for up to 16% more than selling it yourself.
Using a realtor is a smart financial decision.
Get the facts straight about selling your own home. Talk to an agent and be sure to ask if that agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
It's way too risky to sell your house on your own.
Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan, and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010. And go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com.
I'm Tito Love from the TV show I'm Mad as Hell and I'm Not Gonna Take It Anymore. I'm so tired of stupid people that I've written SOS, Stuck on Stupid, the self-help book about common sense and philosophy. You can buy a copy at your local bookstore or at Amazon.com. Then visit MainPerformanceUSA.com for the complete story. Read SOS, Stuck on Stupid, the self-help book, and stay away from the stoopies.
Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy is brought to you by the sumptuous Chinese food restaurant in Riverside, the Mandarin Gardens. Experience all your Chinese favorites and your favorite tropical drinks at the Mandarin Gardens. Banquet facilities are available as well. 1445 University Avenue, or call for takeout 951-786-9887. Say hi to Jason, tell him Bob and Randy sent you, and he'll give you a free order of egg rolls. That's Mandarin Gardens, 1445 University Avenue. Hey, folks, do you want a greener community and a cleaner world? Well, then you need to call B&C Cleaning Services. B&C Cleaning Services is the area's finest cleaning service. Their trained staff works in a variety of settings, including office buildings, schools, universities, retail facilities, medical offices, construction areas, and even your personal home. All their products are safe for the environment, children, and pets, and they guarantee you will be more than satisfied with their work. And so they understand that first impressions are very important, and they offer building maintenance and general cleaning services to each of their clients. And their goal is to provide exceptional services so that their company makes a great impression every time. So call them today for a free consultation, and you could save 10% on your first services. So call B&C Cleaning Services at 888-659-4646. Don't forget, 888-659-4646. And here we go. We're back.
Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
Yeah, that was a quick roller coaster ride.
It was.
How about that? Hey, folks, don't forget, Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy is brought to you by Exit Inland Realty at 1450 University Avenue in Riverside. You can call them at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010. It's a full-service real estate brokerage, and they're there to serve you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hey, Bob, so, you talked about B&C Cleaning.
Oh, don't forget their website, too, exitinlandrealty.com. Full search capabilities for anything you're looking for.
Yeah, you don't need to mess around with all those other websites. You can go right
there. Hey,
this
blows Zillow and everybody out the door.
Just put in the price range you want, the area you want, whatever you want, and poof.
Yep.
There's properties for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Hey, but B&C, Bob, that company, is relatively new to us. They're doing a fabulous job in our office. You can really tell after they've been there.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they do a great job. It's clean. It's neat. I never see them, right?
Yep.
In and out. Cool. I love them. Bonded.
They're like a ghost.
Yeah, they're bonded, everything. So let's talk about what's going on. Oh, where were we at before we went to the break?
Well, we were talking a little bit about the Tyler Lounge situation, and that we're finally reaching some resolution on that.
And
we got the previous owners off the property. It is now completely belonging to my client, and that's why we were able to put a sign up finally. And are starting to get a number of interested folks who would like to purchase it.
So some of the other challenges we had with that property, though, Bob, other than that we needed to foreclose on it, we needed to get the people evicted. We had some problems with the tax base not being calculated correctly. We got with the county tax assessor and fixed some of that, I think.
Well, some of those problems still exist,
Right.
And
we're still working through some problems
and part of that,
county.
it depends because... Well, what we have is a situation where the county says it's one zoning and the city says they've rezoned it to be something else since they acquired that part of La Sierra and incorporated it into Riverside.
Right.
So, if the property is worth more if it's commercial, and if somebody wants to rezone it commercial for the city, you have to make an application, and it costs about $4,000 to $5,000. But again, this is just a money making scam by the cities.
Right.
They could have left it commercial the way that it was, but cities are now rackets. And they're after you for parking tickets. They're after you for
everything's got to be
everything is going up that has to do with the city.
Revenue generated.
I mean, like I was saying last week, I think fireworks is illegal in Riverside, but you could never tell on July 4th. It was like a war zone.
Right.
And unfortunately, I'm not getting much response from the city. I know the Press Enterprise newspaper did a report on it, but the city should really announce a Get Tough policy. There's a lot of things that they could be doing, and quite frankly, we've been having a lot more problems with City Hall under the present mayor. Because the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. They sense that there's weak leadership at the top, and they can get away with that,
whatever they want.
That stuff. And so, it's not like it was when Mayor Loveridge was running it and kept a pretty tight rein on everything.
Well, and we sit here and we talk about some of these things with cities and so forth, and a lot of these things do affect property values. Is the city being run well? Is there rampant crime? And I'm not saying that fireworks in the city is rampant crime, but what I'm saying is that you give an inch, people will take a mile. Right. So if you have weak leadership, they're going to.
Well, that's why I figured I'd speak up, because if you don't, maybe it'll be worse next year.
Exactly.
And I don't want to go through another 4th of July or New Year's Eve.
Well, and the listeners, so they know that you're pretty involved in the Riverside market area, not only with the local association of realtors that we belong to, but also with the cities, with the city council and so forth. You're having
various departments and stuff. Yeah.
So, and I do a lot of stuff up in the high desert with different groups up there. So, the reason why I bring these things up is so that people know that we're not just the average realtor out there that's trying to help you buy and sell properties. We try to stay as connected with the communities and let you know what's going on with all different types of local law.
Well, I mean, as an agent, you're supposed to keep up to date on what's going on in the community so you can communicate that to buyers who want to move into the city and have some, or at least be able to tell them where they can get information,
right.
About crime statistics and schools and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah, schools, parks, communities.
It isn't just knowing what's going on with the inventory of houses that are out there, because people are buying a lifestyle. They're not just buying the house.
Right.
And so they like to know what amenities are around them and what the city offers and what's available. That they could do recreationally or business-wise.
What's coming up in the plans? What's in the works? What is the city planning? What is their short-term plan?
Well, Riverside is also really unfriendly when it comes to signage. They're very, very tough on their sign ordinances, and I think that's to the detriment of businesses that want to, do more business in the city.
Right.
But, I don't know why, it comes across that way. But in fact, right now they're in the process of revamping the sign ordinances.
It even tougher, huh?
I don't know how it's going to come out,
Put a sign anywhere.
But, our shopping center where our office is at has, at least 8 businesses, and they won't let us put one sign with all 8 businesses on it without applying for a variance and paying $5,000 or $10,000 to apply for the variance, and you still don't know if you're going to get it.
Right. And so meanwhile,
there's
a cluster of signs out there on
my
the front.
client paid millions to buy this shopping center on the main street, University in Riverside, and he's being penalized because he can't have the kind of sign that he wants to have. Instead, there's a bunch of little hodgepodge of little signs out in front of the shopping center that looks even worse.
Right.
But the city's just not looking at it the same way.
Well, they need to generate some revenue, Bob.
Oh, yeah. Well, their code enforcement department and, the people that go around and write parking tickets and all that kind of stuff, they put parking meters go around the whole downtown. So what you and I had talked about putting our office downtown at one point in time, but there wasn't sufficient parking.
Right. What was there, like 4 spaces in front of the building or something like that, right?
Well, it had like a little parking area underneath it.
Underneath on that corner spot.
But, that wouldn't be enough for an office with a number of agents and people coming and going all day and stuff. So we wound up at a different location out on University. But, it's unfortunate that you see that kind of stuff happening, but you can only do so much, unfortunately. But, hey, the weather's nice and toasty out here today. I wish they could turn the heat up a little bit. It's not quite hot enough for me.
Well,
but what can you do?
This weekend's going to be exciting, Bob.
Hey, I grew up in Arizona, 115 every day.
Yeah, what's 100, right?
That's
96,
right.
no
Anything over 105 is the same.
Yeah. Unless it's humid or dry.
Yeah, well, we got humidity coming this weekend.
So, I was on vacation last week. Let's really quick before we take our next break maybe, is it rained every day while I was out camping.
That's what you're telling me. Yeah, some drought in California, huh?
You wouldn't have known it by where we were at. So this
week, you said it was, about 18,000 feet you were at?
No, we actually camped at about 10,000 feet, and then we
hiked, 10.
And then we hiked up to a couple lakes that are about 13,000 feet.
Oh, so, I see. Okay. So that's still pretty far up there.
Yeah, it was up there pretty good, and it hailed on us. I mean, it was a huge hailstorm and lightning, and it was spectacular to be out that far. But so I come back, and so this weekend I'm gonna go to the San Diego Safari Park, right? They have an overnight deal that you can do there, right? So I'm going to do this overnight camp thing there, right?
Sleep with the lions.
Yeah, the kind of thing like that, right? So it sounds like a lot of fun, unless they eat your arm or something. But so what? I wake up this morning, and you know what I found out?
What, it's going to rain in San Diego?
It's going to rain while I'm down there.
Could be. Could be.
Every time I want to sleep outside or something, it rains on me. I don't know what's up with that. That was the point of that whole story.
Yeah, well, it's hard. We'll see. These weather people, like I said, they have the dream job. They can be wrong 50% of the time. All they have to be is a little bit funny, and they get to keep their jobs.
Do they have to actually be funny or just funny looking?
And they don't even have to write the weather. It's all written for them.
Yeah, somebody usually does the writing for them, and then
they just
stand up there in front
read
of
a teleprompter.
Stand up in front of a green screen and read a teleprompter, right?
Yep.
Move their arms around and what have you, right?
Yeah. Well, some of them are attractive enough you don't mind watching them,
I don't know, Bob. I don't watch for that.
Weather bunnies, they call them.
Is that what they call them?
That's right.
Well, some of those gals are attractive.
Yep.
I got to admit. So.
Yeah. Jackie Johnson on CBS.
In the morning, I usually watch Channel 4, and I couldn't begin to tell you.
And then Bree Walker on Channel 7.
Al Roker's on there, and then when it comes to the local news, it's a blonde gal, but I couldn't begin to tell you her name.
So at any rate, we're glad with the weather. It's I don't know whether we're going to see any rain or not this weekend because, when I used to live in Pennsylvania, they'd always talk about snowstorm, because what do people do? They stay home and they watch TV, right?
Right.
Okay, so the same thing. Oh, it's going to rain. Don't go out this weekend. You won't be able to do anything. So what do? They stay home and watch TV. So it works to the radio, the advantage of the radio and TV people
sure
that they get on there, even if it only rains a drop somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they can't predict exactly where it's going to rain. Most of the time we get spotted showers, here and there, and we'll see if this El Nino that they're claiming is up and coming this fall is going to happen, and we're going to get the rains that they're talking about. But you never know.
The 100-year storm kind of thing?
Well, I don't know if it'll be that big, but
we need something that
big. Like they said, don't be careful what you wish for.
Hey, I live in the high desert, man. It can rain. Just keep raining.
Plenty of place for the water up there.
Yeah. Hey, as long as it's not in my front door.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to take a real short break right now. We'll be back with our special guest, Felix from Integrity First Financial. And so stay tuned, and we'll be right back, folks. Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010. And go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm online looking at a satellite view of the neighborhood.
Huh. What's with all the dots?
Green means it's for sale, yellow means sold.
Gotcha. Hey, is that the house we looked at?
Yeah, I love it. Maybe we should talk to a realtor, make an offer?
Did that house just go from green to yellow?
Yeah, sold. Right before our very eyes.
Buyers are in the market, but there's a shortage of homes for sale. If you've been thinking about selling, now may be the right time. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today or visit Realtor.com. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, hairstyling. For all your hairstyling needs, come to Plaza Hairstyling. We're located at 5184 Arlington Avenue in Riverside. For an appointment, call Pam or Sheila at 951-359-7376. That's 951-359-7376. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling.
Are you in need of a home companion caregiver, personal care assistant, certified nurse assistant, or a home health aide? Then call 24/7 Keep in Touch Home Care. They offer 24/7 on-call service for long and short-term care, sleepover caregivers, post-operative care, respite care, hospice care, and live-in companions, serving San Bernardino, Riverside, Orange, and Los Angeles County. Call Joy for a free home care assessment today at 714-997-9936. That's 1-714-997-9936, 24/7 Keep in Touch Home Health Care. Also, a shout to our friends there at Back to the Grind in Riverside. Hi, Darren. Best coffee house in Riverside, California. Get your favorite coffees, smoothies, snacks, lunches, and they even have free Wi-Fi. Back to the Grind is located in downtown Riverside at 3575 University Avenue between Lemon Street and Orange Street. Back to the Grind. Call them at 951-784-0800. We are Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. And we have our very special guest here, Felix Nieves. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, and who am I with?
Huh?
Who am I with? Do you recall?
Well, yeah, your Integrity First Financial Group.
You're unbelievable.
How about that?
Right.
Well, you know what's really funny here is Bob didn't have to read the card. You did.
Yeah, right. I want to make sure where I'm at.
Well, they're a direct lender. They got lots of great programs out there for folks, refi or purchase, either one. So you want to...
first of all, I'd like to give out my number, let people know where they can reach me if they have
Good
any
idea.
questions.
So quick, pull over to the side of the road. Write this down because don't try to write it down while you're driving.
I'll give it twice. So
okay, maybe
you
can
reach me at area code 951-202-8938. 202-8938, and I'll give that number a little later on also. But I wanted to go over some programs, and I think we were discussing about how we have these things called non-prime loans now.
They used to be called what?
Subprime. And that's a bad word now, so you can't use
Was
that
that like
anymore.
almost like Alt-A?
No, Alt-A's a little level above, but it's close.
Close. Double Alt-A.
Yeah.
I think I played baseball in that league.
Yeah, right. You and your baseball. Okay. Anyway, the first one is kind of interesting because it caught my attention. It says 95% loan to value. So that means you only have to put 5% down, which is good.
$100,000 deal, that's $5,000.
Right. But what's
closing
catchy
costs.
about it is they don't use the traditional type of method to determine income. They'll let you go ahead and use alternative, which sometimes mean bank statements. So if you have bank statements that you have money that runs through your bank statement, but you don't necessarily
From like my meth
show
lab
it in
or
your,
something like that, right?
Yeah, they don't like meth labs, by the way. Yeah, it's one of those things about the government nowadays. But if you have money running through your bank statements, but not necessarily showing up on your taxes, this is one way to go. But only
and some of that
5%
stuff,
down.
money, and so some people understand those type of monies. I mean, I horse around a lot in here, but some of those monies could be, foster care money. You don't always have to claim those foster care money on your taxes. However, it does go to your bank account, so that might be some funds that you would use.
Yeah, and so
as an
it's
example,
basically geared for self-employed people because a lot of self-employed people have money and they got cash flow going
streams
through.
coming from different directions.
Right. But also on this particular program, you can get cash out up to 90%. So if you have a property and you use small numbers, $100,000, and you need cash out, you can borrow up to $90,000.
If it was paid off.
Yeah, if it's paid up. That's pretty good, though. I mean,
that's real good.
That's
circa 2007.
Yeah, well, this one is kind of reminds me of 2007 a little bit because on this one, you can get borrowed up to $2 million, which is good. But the scary part a little bit, you see this?
I saw that right there highlighted, man.
Right. The scary part about it is you only need a minimum of 540 on your credit score. So this may work for some people. Maybe you had some credit issues and they're resolved, but their score is showing at 540.
Still suffering, yeah.
Yeah, but with this, you can borrow up to $2 million. You need a 540 at least. You can use bank statements, 24 months of bank statements. So if you got 2 years worth of bank statements, and if you're out of foreclosure or short sale one day, you can actually go ahead and buy again.
That's pretty incredible.
In traditional financing, you can't do that.
3 years.
Yeah, but that's kind of scary because you got a 540, you got a foreclosure, and then next day you're buying a house.
And you still got a pretty high percent LTV.
Oh yeah, you can go 80%.
Yeah.
Well, you can need all you need is 20%, but I mean that's kind of getting kind of wild out there.
So the next thing that I see on that one is that LTV will start going up to 85 or 90, right?
Yep.
I see the 540. They can't get any lower.
They can't get any lower, so they got to start playing with the LTV.
Yeah, right.
So
okay, and the last one I have is 85%, which means you need 15% down. But again, they'll let you use bank statements as your cash to show your income. You can go up to $1 million. And the credit score is pretty reasonable. It's 680, so
it's not too high.
Yeah, if you got a 680, see this one is less scary, I should say.
Right.
Yeah, less potential for something going bad. 680, you put 15% down, and you use your bank statements, and you're actually able to get the property you want. As far as the rates are concerned, I'm not sure exactly what the rates are, but it's probably not a loan that you want to keep for 30 years. But it'll get you into the property until you can
refinance
get into
next
a more
year.
traditional
You
loan.
can show that you've been making payments on it for a year and refinance it or something.
And the last thing is, one of the things I always preach about is the state of California has money on that program, Kcaa, where they'll go ahead and let you use 3% they'll send you 3% of your sales price for down payment for you. It's great. You don't make any payments on it. Well, people are finally starting to listen, and it's catching on because now they're flooded. You send an application up there for them. It takes 21 days now in order to get a response.
So if you're going to go Kcaa, and we have one that's closing through you guys in the next couple of days, we believe it's going to close the next couple of days. We should get approval in the next couple of days. But one of the things that if you're going to go Kcaa, you really need to be able to get your offer accepted with a 45 to 60-day escrow. Because you can't submit the Kcaa till after you have the bank approval, right?
Right.
So you get your offer accepted, and then you send it all up to the bank. The bank gives you your DU underwriting, and let's call it 10 days, right?
Right.
And then it's 21 days from there. Well, you're already past.
Yeah. Well, not only that, there's going to be changes in guidelines on how loans are done.
Right.
I mean, just with those changes themselves and the delays you get with those changes, you need 45 days on just like on a regular transaction.
Right.
But with CHDAP, you need 45 days for sure, possibly 60, especially if they're running 21 days right now to underwrite that.
Yeah, they're
now, after you get the CHDAP approval, how long is it before the paperwork's processed and you can actually close?
Okay, and then once we get it back, and then it's just basically what we have what you normally have in a normal
Oh,
loan.
okay.
It comes back to us. Okay, that's when.
Because you already have the FHA approval before you send in the CHDAP.
Right. And
CHDAP
usually
doesn't
everything
wanna
else
see
is
it.
in, right? You got the appraisal in, you got all the termite inspection, home inspection, all that
Everything's-
stuff done,
yeah.
just waiting on CHDAP, right?
Right. And again, this program is 3%, but you don't make any payments on it. You're welcome to make payments on it, but you don't have to make any payments until you either refinance the house or sell your home. So 30 years later, they want their money back. So it's pretty good. I mean, where else can you do that? It helps people get into homes.
Yeah, I think those programs are good. They can take somebody who's got a good job out there, but just hasn't been able to save the down payment. It's really, really good. I mean, they still got to come in with closing costs and some other things, right? The 0.5% in closing costs, right?
Yeah, that's what I call the other bad word. It's closing costs. It comes with the territory. You just have to get it. Another bad word in the mortgage business is this thing called mortgage insurance.
Right.
And that comes with the territory too.
Well, you could write your offer and with seller paying your closing costs, right?
Sure.
And even if you bumped up your offer by a couple $1,000, then they could pay your closing costs, and then you're really getting into the house with no money down.
Yeah, and to do that, real estate goes into cycles just like any other business. But when you get in a cycle where it's a buyer's market, they love to pay your closing costs.
Right.
Yeah, because they got 100 houses for sale and only one buyer in the neighborhood. They'll throw in the boat on the front yard. Years ago I saw one on MLS. The guy put the boat on the front. Goes with the house.
Boats and cars and appliances and you name it.
Yeah, well, we just had one. We got a deal in our office right now where they offered all the extra appliances and all that stuff. All you had to do was ask for it, right? So so it was kind of cool. It's added incentives because some new home buyers, they can get in there, right? So that there's a stove. Okay, well, there's no dishwasher maybe, or there's a dishwasher possibly, but there's no washer dryer. There's no refrigerator, right? So when the seller wants to include those things, it's really an incentive for first-time home buyers because that's $2,000 or $3,000 worth of new appliances they might have to buy.
Well, I want to run this by you because I had an experience with my stepson 2 weeks ago. He purchased a house. It closed. Everybody's happy when it closes. And then I'm at the theater and I get a call from my daughter-in-law. Says, Felix, just got into the house, but where's the refrigerator? The people took the refrigerator, and it was in the contract.
It was in the contract.
It was in the contract to keep the refrigerator.
We had one like that, and they said, well, you didn't tell us you wanted it, so we sold them.
Yeah.
This is what they said. When the listing agent was contacted, she says, well, they cut the appraisal $10,000, and the people didn't have enough money to get pay for the moving because they had to move on 4th of July. It cost them more, so they took the refrigerator and they sold it.
Well, probably one of the people that helped them move wanted it.
Well, you know what? It's kind of funny when my daughter-in-law, she's kind of tough. She says, she told him, well, you know what? I'm going to go shopping for a refrigerator right now that they're going to pay for, and if I don't have it back by tomorrow morning, I'm calling the police.
Yeah,
So,
it's really
she
theft,
might have
right?
something there, because they own the house and that belonged to the house. So anyway, so it was kind of exciting.
It's kind of funny, some of the things that we come across in the real estate arena with buying and selling, and now I got a still second again. I keep getting signals from the engineer over there.
Yeah, right. See.
Still in second's easier than still in home. Of course, I think still in third's the easiest base to steal.
Third base is the home base to steal?
Easiest base to steal.
Do you think so?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Second is a longer throw, I would
Right.
assume. Yeah.
But the batter's in your way, in the catcher's way, throwing to third, and the runner has a better look at what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the runner gets a bigger lead from second
Yeah.
to third too.
Yeah,
You know.
that's why I think.
Yeah. I got a baseball story to tell you about a family member who played in Japan, and after the play was over and they won the World Series, the coach is telling them, Alan, his name is Alan Newman, he says, that was a major league play. That was a major league play. Alan misread the sign. They give so many signs up there.
Right.
He misread the sign and threw it to second. The shortstop dived, caught it, tagged the bag. They're out. The game's over. They win the series. But actually says it was an accident.
Well, that's happened to me.
Well,
over the
luck
years.
is always a part of the game.
Yeah,
that's part of
it
the
is a big
game.
part of it. And,
Okay.
some of my kids, now I got 30 seconds. So some of my kids do that too, right? I'll put a play on and give them a signal, right? And either they'll get up there and they get excited and they do something other than what I told them, right? And it winds up being a something better than what I told them to do, right? So
that's hard to believe, though.
It is hard to believe. So, well, Bob, I think we're going to take a shorty here, huh?
Yep, we'll be back here real shortly, folks. Sit tight, stay tuned, and Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. We'll be right back.
We wanted to move in 90 days, and that was our goal.
Selling a home can be a challenge.
I've been through this type of market before. I'm going to be there every step of the way to guide them through it.
Realtors I work with know the markets that they're in.
They know how to market it. They know how to sell it.
Interest rates are at historic lows, which means more buyers are in the market for a home like yours. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today.
The market is always changing, and I'll always be ready for it.
Only Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan, and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010, and go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com.
Mom, I had the best dream.
Well, good morning to you, too.
Okay, so I was a knight. I had a sword, and our house was a castle. There was this angry dragon. It was kind of scary.
Oh, yeah?
But I protected the castle.
Oh, that's my brave little man. I'm glad our castle is safe.
Your home is your castle, and sometimes you need help defending it. The National Association of Realtors supports maintaining homeowner tax incentives because they make home ownership more affordable for more families. Learn more at houselogic.com.
For all your hairstyling needs, come to Plaza Hairstyling. We're located at 5184 Arlington Avenue in Riverside. For an appointment, call Pam or Sheila at 951-359-7376. That's 951-359-7376.
Here we are. This is Realtor Bob Bishop. I'm here with Realtor Randy Guth, and this is Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. And we're glad that you're joining us today. We are on here at KCAA every week, every Thursday from 3 until 4 p.m. So save up your real estate questions. If you got a question or a comment, you can call us here toll free. That's right. That means it's free. 888-909-1050. 888-909-1050. Give us a ringy ding.
Yeah,
we'd love to talk with you.
You can ask us anything about real estate. We may not always have the answer, but if we don't, we'll be happy to get back to you. And if you have some mortgage questions, don't forget to call Felix at 951-202-8938. Felix was on in the last segment, and I just want to make sure we gave him a shout out. Got his number back out to you guys, 951-202-8938. He's a real nice guy, Bob.
That's right.
We should keep him around.
Why not?
Yeah. Somebody. You know what I really like about their company, Bob, is they really have, all the down payment assistance programs. They know all that kind of stuff. They really spend a lot of time with it.
Well, remarkably, you can save a lot of money, or you can buy a little more house if you use some of these programs. And
Right.
a lot of loan officers don't like to recommend them because it takes a little bit longer sometimes, and they're just trying to slam you into whatever they can get closed as quick as possible. But Integrity First Financial is always looking out for their customers, and they're trying to find the best deal and the best way to get you into the home that you want.
Well, and just like you stated, the CDAP stacked on top of your regular mortgage is a minimum of 21 days longer to get it approved. So, just things like that you got to know. But if you know it going in, you can write your offer, subject to those conditions. So
that's right.
Yeah. Well, what do you got over there we can chat about, Bob?
Well, I have this interesting article here. If you're a seller and you're going to be selling your home, one of the things that you want to consider is what they call a kick-out clause, and it can protect you as a home seller. The question is, you're about to sign a contract to sell your house to a very nice couple when they advise that they cannot afford to buy your house unless they can sell their house first. We call that a contingent sale. We would like to sell this couple, but are reluctant to take our house off the market for an indefinite period of time while the buyers try to sell their house. How do you think you can resolve this dilemma? The answer is, and by the way, this is an article on Realty Times by Benny Cass.
By the way, I'm doing one of those right now, Bob.
Are you?
Well, not a kick-out clause, but one contingent on the other one.
Well, you need the kick-out clause, too, besides the contingency in the counteroffer. The answer is, there is a concept in real estate called the kick-out clause, which may solve your concerns. No one likes to sign contracts which are contingent on the purchaser's ability to sell their own house. Unfortunately, not everyone can afford to buy a new home until they sell their current property. And even if you can carry the financial burden of two houses, many prospective homebuyers still prefer to include a contingency in their contract to the effect that they do not have to purchase the new property until and unless their current home is not just under contract but actually sold. Generally speaking, when buyers present sellers an offer to purchase, they can include a contingency for the sale of their house. This is known as a contingency contract. In simple English, this means that if the specified event does not occur, in this case the buyers do not sell their house, then the contract to purchase the new property becomes null and void, and the purchasers are entitled to a full refund of any earnest money deposit. Needless to say, as you have suggested, sellers do not want to take their house off the market for an indefinite period of time because you might miss a future buyer. Accordingly, a compromise has been developed which is known as a kick-out clause. Under this arrangement, the contract provides that while the sellers are willing to accept a contingency contract, the sellers will continue to market the house. If another qualified buyer is found, the seller will give the current purchaser with the contingency a certain amount of time, usually 72 hours, in which to remove the contingency. That means to keep the contract alive, or exercise the contingency and decide not to purchase the new property. The kick-out clause has to be carefully drafted. If the potential purchasers are confronted with the 72-hour kick-out period and decide to remove the sale contingency, they may still be able to get out from under the original contract if they cannot get financing. So keep in mind that most standard sales contracts also contain another contingency on the ability of the purchaser to obtain the necessary financing. But This creates a dilemma for everyone. If the purchasers remove the sale contingency but still have the financing contingency in the contract, it is likely that a lender will not give a binding loan commitment to the purchaser unless they sell their house first. Thus, a mere removal of the sales contingency does not meet the seller's needs. The purchaser can still find an excuse to back out of the contract based on another contingency in the contract. And again, then the sellers have had their house off the market for too long. So, thus, the seller should include at the very least the following language in a 72-hour kick-out clause. The parties agree that the seller's property shall remain on the market during the above contingency period. If the seller does not remove the above contingency and provide evidence satisfactory to seller in their sole discretion of ability to perform under the terms herein within a specified number of hours, upon receipt of the written notice, that seller has accepted a secondary contract. Purchaser's deposit shall be promptly returned in full, and the first contract automatically becomes null and void. So what it is it's kind of like an escape clause. So you're not tied to that buyer that you accepted the contingency offer with. If another buyer comes along and they look like they're more reasonable and can close quicker, then you can opt with the
second offer, right?
Yeah, with the clause and get out of it so that you're able to. I always try and do that with my sellers, is always put some kind of a kick-out clause or some kind of an escape route. You know, the appraisal has to be done within 14 days and has to be done by this day. And if not, a seller may cancel with 24-hour written notice. The second one is I said the appraisal, right?
Right.
The second one would be the loan approval. That loan approval would have to be by a certain specified date with no conditions. I mean, a clean loan approval.
Right.
Because the purpose is if you don't put, and also my favorite one is that the property, if they want a 45-day escrow, for example, I calculate exactly what the 45th day is, and that sale has to close by the 45th day, or there would be a per diem, which could be $50 or as much as $100 a day until the buyer is able to close. Because one of the problems we have in real estate is that if there's no penalty to the buyer, there's no way to motivate the lender into getting the loan done on time. But if the buyer knows he's going to have to pay, say, $50 or $100 a day for every day that the property doesn't the loan doesn't close, then he's going to ask his lender at the beginning, can you get this closed in the 45 days? And if the lender says yes, and for some reason it goes over that 45 days, then they would be liable to pay that per diem for the buyer because the buyer was informed by them.
They could do it.
Unless the buyer screws up and doesn't provide them with the paperwork they're supposed to at the right time and all that stuff. But that's not the seller's problem.
Right.
I had one time. The one time I didn't put that in a contract. And the people were ready. They claimed to close. They said, well, can the seller move out early because we want to move in within 30 days or so. And so the seller moved in with her daughter. The buyers found out when they ran their credit report or backup credit report before the loan was going to be funded that the wife's sister had stolen her credit card and went out and ran it way up, and now they didn't qualify for the loan. So my client had to sit there for 3 months living at her sister's with no money from the sale until these people were able to get that paid off and get that removed from their credit so they qualified for a loan.
Wow.
So it's really important that because there's no way to motivate the lender to hurry up. And now if in that case it would have been $100 a day for the buyer, it wouldn't have taken 3 months for that loan to close. But you have to think ahead. You have to have escape clauses in the contract so the seller can cancel it and move on to another buyer right away without, like you say, you agree to a 60-day escrow and you don't have an escape clause. If it appears for some reason that buyer isn't qualifying or they want to switch lenders or do some other stuff and you got another good buyer that you could be taking in the meantime, you're locked in until that agreed period of time is over before you can actually sell the property to somebody somebody else. So that's why you have to have these checks and balances built into the contract. So they have to have the appraisal by a certain time, the approval by a certain time, they have to close by a certain
request
time.
for repairs to you by a certain time.
Everything.
Well, I just went through that.
And that way, if it doesn't work out, then they could easily say, well, we're giving you 24 hours notice. We're canceling your purchase of the property, and we're moving on to another buyer.
Moving on.
Exactly. So, folks, that's why, again, you really need to work with an experienced agent. There's lots of agents out there that can put your house in MLS, but, behind the scenes, there's over 100 people that are involved in selling and processing the loan and the transaction for your house. And so that's 100 different ways or more that something can get screwed up or delayed. So you really have to have somebody that has experience, that's used to navigating these kinds of waters, and if some sort of problem comes up, they know how to deal with it, instead of just saying, I don't know.
Well, and some of the things that you find too is you get agents out there, if they don't do a lot of business, that they just buckle on everything that the other agent, if the other agent that they're negotiating with has a lot of experience, they just buckle and just say, whatever they ask for, I got to do it. And if you don't have a lot of experience, if your agent doesn't have a lot of experience, you as a buyer or seller could be getting the short.
Well, they could also make you liable if they screw something up. Then you could possibly be the victim of a lawsuit. Right. From a buyer or from a seller as a result of that. So it's really important to get somebody that has experience, has been in the business for a long time, because they will know all the different kinds of situations and stuff that come up.
Yeah.
But on that note, this is Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Don't forget, we're here every Thursday from 3 until 4. Bye.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Its YouTube division and more clicks on display ads. Netflix received 34 Emmy nominations for its original programming today, and shares shot up 18%, hitting a new record high. That's after it added more than 3.3 million more streaming video subscribers last quarter, 900,000 of them here in the U.S. Greece says it'll finally reopen its banks on Monday, and crayon maker Crayola plans to open its first family attraction called the Crayola Experience at the Mall of America next summer. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH+ combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH+ gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-319-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-319-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-319-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get Dish today.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home.